Hi, I am Amalie Schaefer with Systematic Excellence Consulting, and this is the ClickUp Mastery YouTube channel. And today I'm going to continue my series going over the free templates that ClickUp provides. And today I'm going to go over the task management template. So in order to get the template into your account, I already have it uploaded, but I do want to show you how to add it. So the first thing you're going to do is come over to the plus sign. Oops, sorry, I meant on the space. Here's the template space, and we're going to go ahead and add a new folder. Go to templates. We're going to click on community, and we're going to find the task management, and I'm going to click on here. And then you can see the different status groups that'll be involved, the custom fields, and view types. And then I am going to go ahead. And the other thing I do want to mention is you can add it to your library of templates. So that way, if you want to refer back to it, you'll have it there. Otherwise, adding it here, just using the template will add it to your account. So we're going to go ahead and hit Use Template. I'm actually going to call this Task Management 2 because I already have one, and asks you if you want to customize your import items or custom import everything. We're going to import everything today. We can import as is with due dates, or we can remap them. So if we want to remap them, I could hit, maybe Monday is the start date. And based on what they have set up, the end date of all of them will be April 15th. And so then let's say we want to skip weekends. And then it's asking if we want to import all tasks as open, and I do want to do that. I don't actually think that there's any closed tasks that were in this template, but some of them have closed tasks. But all right, so now we go ahead and hit Use Template, and that's going to go ahead and load here. Give it a second. But as you can see here, so you can see that it was added here, and it'll pop up for us. Okay, so when we import it, even if we have it remap, it doesn't necessarily always remap all the dates. And so what we can do is we can put next week. We can change the start date. Maybe today's the start date. And we can just kind of go through. I'm going to leave these dates because it's not quite as important. What I want to go over is how they have this organized. So the first thing is they have this main view. So I'm on the folder view here. I'm clicking on the folder so I can see all of it. And then they have the folder organized into 3 lists. The first one is just all of the tasks together. And right now they're not grouped by anything. It's just listed out. And then they've used these custom fields to organize things and give them some context of what the status is, what department it is, and then these are going to equate to how they have these lists set up. So if you're going to use this, the first thing I would do is just kind of walk through, have a look at it, and then we can start to customize. So let's just have a look here. So the statuses that they have are to do, in progress, review, revision, complete. And the departments that they have are marketing, operations, design, client success, engineering, finance, sales, management. Now, if these don't fit with what you have, then you can just add or edit these by clicking on that. You can add new options, edit the options, change the colors, all by doing that here. If you want to change the different statuses, you can do that. If you don't want to see this in this way where it's just all the tasks together, you can select to group them by status. And there we go. I'm not going to save this view right now, but if you wanted to see that grouped by status, then you could do that. Basically what this is doing, if it's grouped by status, it's pulling from the status that's set, the status that's set here, but then also how they have it organized by list. So this breaks it down by the list. You can see action items, ideas, and backlog. You can group by priority, which they actually have a list for that, so I'll show that in a minute, but let's just go back to none. So this is group by nothing, and they use these to organize the information. So this is the main list that they have in the folder view. The next list that they have, it's important tasks, and they use that by setting different priorities. So if you click on the little flag, you have urgent, high, normal, low, or you could clear it out and not give it a priority at all. So by using this, they have this second list here where you can click on important tasks, and now it's going to organize it by whatever it's set to. So, anything that was set urgent is here, high, normal, low, and then no priority is down here. And then the third list they have is by department. And so that was that other custom field, the label that they had. So they've organized it by here. So you can see that it's grouped by a custom field department. The other thing that they have is a timeline setup. So they also have all of these other views that you can look at it. So if you prefer to see things in a board view, then you'll be able to see them that way if you and then you can see the calendar view. This is just going to show things that have due dates. Even if they're not assigned to someone, they're just going to show the due dates. They have the Gantt view. And if you prefer to use that view, you can do that. The other thing that they have set up is a timeline view. So right now, this is showing us the next couple of weeks and the different tasks that have due dates during that time. They have a second timeline set up here that is organized by the department, so that way you can see, what department has what going on. And you can edit things from this view. So if you wanted to do that, so if I want to see the different views, like if I want to see the month view, then it's going to show me each month. If I want to see the week view, then it's going to show me the weeks. And if I want to see the day, then I can see a more zoomed in view of that. Okay, so those are the views. So now once we're in here, the first thing I would do is figure out, are the custom fields, do they apply to your business? Maybe you need to edit those. Are the statuses sufficient? Do you want to edit those? Using the priorities. And then the last thing there's two things. One is the time estimate. I think time estimates are really important, particularly when you are looking at workloads, when you're looking at billable time, when you have people that are tracking their time and you want to know how long certain things take. Using time estimates to bump it up against how long it actually takes is really great. It can help with your invoicing, planning. Like I said, if you're with workloads and things like that, it helps with planning. It also helps with, what should you be charging for services. Now, the last thing that they have is a progress bar. Now, in these tasks, they don't have any subtasks or checklist items. They just have the progress bar. So what you can do in order to utilize this project bar is use subtasks or checklist items. So design new logos. So, maybe you add the different items that are necessary to complete this particular task. And then as they get checked off, they will show on the progress bar. So this template is great as a starting point, but you'll definitely have to come in and customize these tasks for what you need. So in order to utilize the progress bar, you'll need to have subtasks or checklist items in order to see, how much of it's been completed. Okay, so then, you might come in and maybe you just want to delete all of these because none of these apply, and then you can come in and put your own tasks in here. Maybe each of your team members gets a task management folder, specifically assigned to them or something of that nature. And then what we'll do is we'll go over each list separately. So this is the action items, and we can show empty statuses. Maybe we want to show closed tasks. And then when you show empty statuses, it does automatically put it in this order. I generally flip it around. And you can organize this view the same way that that I showed you in the folder view. So if you wanted to have it group by nothing, then you would have that same view. If you want to group by status, then you can do that, or assignee. And again, oh, I didn't save the view, that's why. Okay, so then we want to save this, and then you can see those are the statuses that they have set up here. And then you can really organize this however you want. So if you want to change the list statuses, you can do that. Like I said, I think this is a really great place to start with task management. And then the same thing with ideas. So they have it set here with just to do. If you want to show, like I said, empty statuses, maybe closed tasks, and then flip it around so you can see what's to do at the top. And again, you can group this by different things. If these had due dates, we could group by due date, we could group by assignee or priority, and so on and so forth. And then again, with the same thing with the backlog, you can do the same thing. There we go. Took a minute. If we wanted to organize this by priority, then we can do that as well. So each of these, you can organize that as well. And then they also have the timeline set up for each of the different lists. There's no due dates on here, so nothing's going to show up, but they have it also the same way for the action items, so you can see those things here. And you can edit tasks by clicking on them and dragging. If you want to move this, maybe move it that way, you can drag and drop those things just like you could in the other views. So like I said, I think this is a great place to start if you're looking for a way to kind of manage tasks. You could use one folder for everyone on your team, or if you wanted to, maybe you have a folder for each person. That's another way to kind of manage it. I would probably use the task management folder for my internal processes and have a separate place for clients. I think combining clients and internal work in one folder with just these lists might get a little bit confusing. I think you would definitely need to add some labels, whether it's, internal work or client work, if you are going to do something like that. But I think this is a great template to get you started. I hope that this video was helpful. If you are looking for other templates and inspiration for things that you're managing your business, make sure you check out the other videos I've done about the templates that ClickUp offers. Again, my name is Amalie. I'm with Systematic Excellence Consulting, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.